There is a place hidden not on the earth, nor entirely in the heavens, but between, a sanctum known only in the deepest dreams of yogis and the final visions of mystics. This place is Siddhāśrama, the ashram of the perfected ones. It cannot be reached by foot, nor flown to by winged chariot. One arrives only when the soul becomes still, when the search ends without conclusion. It is not a land of temples but of pure perception. The wind chants mantras. The rivers flow with remembrance. The trees speak the language of realization. Into this sacred abode wandered a seeker named Ishvara, weary across countless lifetimes. He had mastered mantras, kindled the inner fires, danced in the 10 directions, and drowned in the oceans of scriptural knowledge. Yet peace eluded him as if the self he sought hid behind the very seeking. One dusky twilight, while meditating beneath a sky veiled in violet and gold, Ishvara's breath stopped, not by effort but by grace. The world faded. A bell rang without sound. When his eyes opened, he stood in Siddhāśrama. Everything shimmered. Mountains pulsed with silence. Birds flew without wings. Time had uncoiled. A fragrance of sandal, starlight, and longing filled the air. In the center of this luminous realm stood a figure cloaked in ambiguity, both radiant and simple, both man and woman, yet neither. This being approached with a gaze that penetrated centuries. "You have come," the being said with a voice like wind through a conch. "Not because you climbed, but because you let go." Ishvara bowed deeply, heart trembling. "Tell me," he asked, "what is the highest worship, the final yoga?" The being laughed, not mockingly but like thunder waking a hidden seed. "The worship of man," they said. "The Sahaja man, the one who lives in spontaneous unity. He who is sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes both, sometimes beyond." They led Ishvara to a circle of siddhas, seated in effortless presence. Among them were hijras, shining with a grace that defied gender. There were kojas whose bodies held the silence of the void. They did not chant, yet vibrations danced around them. They did not teach, yet wisdom poured through their stillness. "Here," the being continued, "there is no asana, no vrata, no scripture. Only faith born of direct seeing. The Sahaja man is worshipped not by denying life, but by seeing through it." Ishvara saw now that these beings had no discrimination. A king sat beside a beggar. A tantric beside a householder. They spoke one language, not Sanskrit nor Pali, nor any tongue of men. It was the language of essence, known only when the I dissolves. When the woman becomes a hijra and the man becomes a koja, the being whispered, the opposites merge. Duality falls. They become perfectly satisfied in man, and they awaken in the Sahaja land. And in that moment Ishvara understood. Not through mind, not through experience, but through disappearance. His body sat among the siddhas, but his soul became as water, reflecting all, clinging to none. He too became the mirror of the Sahaja man. And in Siddhāśrama, where night never falls and dawn never ends, Ishvara remained, not as a seeker but as one found. In the Sahaja land the siddhas do not teach. They simply are, and in their being all is known.